read off what Coach Saban had to say, and then we are going to talk about it. But Nick Saban spoke out about his retirement and why he felt that it was time. I want to be clear that that wasn't the reason, but some of the events certainly contributed, Saban said, of his decision to retire. I was really disappointed in the way that the players acted after the game. You got to win with class. You got to lose with class. We had our opportunities to win the game, and we didn't do it. And then showing your ass and being frustrated and throwing helmets and doing that stuff. That's not who we are and what we've promoted in our program. Once back in Tuscaloosa, as Saban began meeting with the players, it became even more apparent to him that his message wasn't resonating like it once did. I thought we could have a hell of a team next year, and then maybe 70 or 80% of the players you talk to, they all want to know is two things. What assurances do I have that I'm going to play because they're thinking about transferring, and how much are you going to pay me? Saban recounted, our program here was always built on how much value we can create for your future and your personal development, academic success, and graduating and developing an NFL career on the field. So I'm saying to myself, maybe this doesn't work anymore, that the goals and aspirations are just different, and it's all about how much money I can make as a college player. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's never been what we're all about, and it's not why we had success through the years. So I know a lot of people have talked about that Coach Saban was probably getting out of the game because things had changed, and everybody's playing players now, just paying players now, not just the SEC, jokingly. But here he is himself speaking on it, how he feels like the game has changed, and he's not able to get to the players as much because for so long, I think what Coach Saban was able to hang his hat on was that you come here and you come play for me, you're gonna have a chance to play. You're gonna have a chance to play for a national championship. You're gonna have a chance to be a high round draft pick if you're really good. You're gonna have a chance to go to the NFL if you're good enough. And I'm gonna give you all the opportunities you can to be the best player and person you possibly can be. You're gonna win in college. I don't know if you're gonna win in NFL. I can't guarantee that, but I can give you, if you do everything I tell you to do, if you work super hard, if you keep your head down, if you're a good student in the classroom, I can give you an opportunity to get to the NFL. I can't promise you anything after that, but while you're under my watch, I can promise you some things. You're going to be competing for a national championship, and you're going to have an opportunity to play in the NFL. Now, it's just like he said, the game is now changing. Everybody can pay players. We're all paying players. So, not that, I'm not saying they were or they weren't in the SEC paying players, but everybody can pay players. And, that's what kids are looking for. And I think that kind of sucks as a head coach. You just lost a national championship game, or not a national championship, a national semifinal game. And the first exit meetings, when you do these exit meetings and you're sitting down with your players, the first thing they want to know is, what assurances do I have that I'm going to play? Because they know they're at Alabama. Everybody's going to want some Alabama players. So if they get in the transfer portal, it's going to be easy for them. Or the next question you're being asked is, how much money can I make this offseason? How much are you going to pay me for me to stay here? That's rough, especially as a head coach who's most likely super old school. Not most likely. Coach Nate Saban is super old school. He believes in hard work. He believes in, you earn everything you get. You're not just given anything. And, the game has been so different for so long, and he's done it a certain way at Alabama for so long. I think now that a bunch of these changes are taking place, and, the game is being shifted in so many ways, so many monumental ways. Conference realignment. There's new teams entering the conference. I don't think any teams have left the SEC, but there's new teams entering the SEC. And then, you got NIL being a thing. The transfer portal is such a big thing, and there's no regulations really on where and when you can transfer. I just think just like he said, he's realized the game is different. The game is not the same. Do you think there's going to be more coaches like this who exit the game because of these rules? Do you guys think or know of any coaches that you think left because of these same changes? I can't think of any off the top of my head. Obviously, Saban is the first one that comes to my mind, but I think personally, talking to my Montana fans out there, I don't think Coach Houck is very fond. He's stated it, so I don't have to think. I don't have to speculate. He stated that, he's not a super big fan of the NIL and what it's doing and what it's going to do to college football. I could see Coach Houck having the same mindset as Coach Saban about, the college game and NIL and the transfer portal and people wanting money, because Coach Houck is an old school guy too. Hard work, grit, grind. We're going to be the most physical team. We're going to be the most dominant team. We're going to dominate our opponent every play. And that's what he's hung his hat on. So now that things have changed and the playing field is way different, I think that's a reason why we could see the exodus of a lot of coaches, a lot of old school coaches who believe in certain ways and aren't able to change. Not that Coach Nick Saban is not able to change, because he won a national championship in 2020. I think he still has the blueprint I think he still has some of the blueprint. Coach Saban, I think, still has the blueprint of how to be successful on the field. But it's so much more about just on the field these days. Kids are trying to build brands. Kids are trying to earn as much money as they possibly can while they have these brands and these names and, this name, image, and likeness that means something right now. Like, they're trying to make the most of it. And, that's not why Coach Nick Saban got into it. That's not why he was a coach, so he disagrees with that. And I fully understand, I think this was inevitable given, where college football is at. But I think this is going to spark much more conversation around the college football landscape, just because Coach Nick Saban is who he is. But, he's working with ESPN, I believe, this year. And he's working, I think he's on game day. I think he's working at ESPN, and he's going to be working around the college game during the season. So it's going to be exciting to see what he has to say, some of the points he makes. I know he's going to be on the headlines all over the place because people care about what he has to say, and what he has to say holds weight. He's a 7-time national championship head coach. So who wouldn't want to hear from that guy? So I know people are super excited, and I think him saying all of that just confirms what people already thought about why he was getting out of the college game. Because of the rule changes, because of the way the game is headed, all of those things. So you guys let me know in the comments what you thought about that, and we are going to move on.